you have to make 100 portion of tiramisu, you need this marbled chocolate. This is a garnish. So how to do it, that you can get it done in a very efficient level, and that this marbling is more or less the same. Make marble chocolate before. I've seen it. Okay, the ideal way is first white chocolate and then dark chocolate. Because quite often, unless you have a huge amount of white chocolate, if you do this system which I show you, the white chocolate is almost absorbed by the dark one if you do dark as a bottom color. So the white is much better as a bottom color, and then the dark one on the top as a marbling. Okay, make sure that your chocolate is very smooth, there's no lumps here, and make sure you're ready. Before you put the white chocolate, get the dark one ready in the paper bag. Try out that it's running smooth, because if you pipe the chocolate, if you spread the white chocolate and you want to start with the dark and get stuck, by the time you fix it, maybe already set. Make sure it's not leaking. Oh, this does not help today. Here, next to that. The leaf has to be quite thin, otherwise they look clumsy. So the edges of this white layer don't have to be perfect, but the other part has to be quite even. Regular lines. And you have to do this before it starts to set, and using the tip of the blade only. So you get a very light marbling. So if you use the whole length of the blade, it will not work. You don't get proper marbling. You can see it start to set already, so there's not much time. So you can cut either this direction or this direction, even though it's not perfect, like marble is never going to be perfect in coloring, but it's very even, so I can make 50, 100 pieces, all of them look very similar, and I can get very efficient result. Cut it right away before it's completely hard. Be that perfect. But it's easy, the compound you can also cut when it's set already. And if it's way too hard, just use a gas burner to warm the blade and then cut. So the thickness too thick, you remember we have that souffle cup. This is souffle cup, souffle dish. Or sometimes a recipe asks for a ramequin. That is the name before, ramequin. This is the same thing.
Ramekin?
Huh?
Ramekin?
Ramequin, yeah. But it's an American way to pronounce it, or the English speaker's name, ramequin. In French it's called ramequin. And so we want to have maybe 3 or 4 little triangles here. The triangle should be different size, so it's not looks too rigid. So it looks like a little forest at the end. So as soon as it's semi-set, when it's firm enough that it does not run, that it doesn't stick, you just can mark it, cut it, and then let it completely set. And then when it's get really cold, the chocolate will shrink a little bit. Right? It's a natural reaction. If it's warm, it expands. If it's cold, it will shrink. And because it cannot move by itself on the paper, it will move the paper as well. So it's actually just go a little bit like this. So it will be easy to be separate. So you cut it, stripes. To be more secure, you can wait a little bit longer. So ideally, before you move to pipe the chocolate and spread the chocolate, turn off the air condition. That gives you a bit more time, because the chocolate is so thin and compound sets relatively quickly. So if you work near the air conditioner, near the flow, it will set before you finish. You could see at this corner it has started to set. That's why it's just a little bit more rough. So you have a little bit less time. Cut this freehand, so to get not identical pieces. So you can. Okay, I have to wait for a moment. Okay, can we make just a small piece, because we don't need so much? So maybe on every paper I put together, make so you get the training, but we don't end up.